but I guess YouTube killed the stream because I opened a utility knife. I didn't do anything. So, YouTube again, that was just a utility knife. It's a pocket knife. So, I have no idea what's going on. I didn't do it. So, we got 23 seconds live. So, hopefully, people will just start jumping back on because I don't know what's happened. But I saw the other one. I couldn't, I mean, there was no comments and the people were decreasing. So, I don't know what's going on. But that was very, very weird. Okay, here's one person. I can see maybe some people are jumping in. I didn't do this. This must have been because I opened a utility knife. Did they, or because of the tool? I guess. I mean, all I did was open a utility knife. Wow, they must have killed this utility knife. You can show pocket knives. The last I checked. Good Lord. Man, this is crazy. Yeah, I never left. I could see, it was saying I was still live, but everybody was dropping off. So I'm thinking YouTube killed it because I opened a utility knife. Man, that's insane. Because you can show pocket knives, the last I checked, unless something's changed, YouTube. I haven't touched a gun or anything. That was not a gun, that was a utility knife. Like you open boxes with. Good Lord. So on this one we have 8 people, 0 chats. Yeah, they killed my live. Because I opened a Klein tool. It actually even says Klein tool on it. It says tool, and I said, this is a tool. What's up, Chessboard? How are you, man? Yeah, they did. Yeah, we got 8 on, 0 thumbs up, but I don't, that's the first time that's ever happened for showing a tool. But anyway, that was weird. So, I don't know. But as far as my carry for this week, we'll go ahead and say it's a Shadow System CR920XP. That is what the carry for this week is. So, but also I wanted to give some companies some shout outs, not because they sent me anything. I bought these. I totally bought these. But I'm pretty much in love, completely in love with the poncho shirts. And y'all know that I have the old Tejas, and I really love those fishing shirts. However, my wife bought me some ponchos, and I loved them so much, she bought me some more ponchos. So I'm loving the poncho shirts. I don't know if y'all have tried them. They are expensive, but man, they're worth it. They're super, super comfortable. The material is like something I haven't felt before. I'm just going by my recommendation. I'm not sponsored by them. They're not paying me. I bought all these shirts, or my wife did. But I'm definitely a fan of the poncho shirts. Also, for pants, I'm really liking the Wrangler AXGs, I believe is what they're called. They're not expensive, but they're kind of like a slack action pant kind of thing. They're super comfortable. They stretch in your knee area. Super comfortable, and they're, like I said, they're not expensive. The ponchos are expensive, but really enjoying those pants and those shirts. So yeah, I guess they cut it, DB. I don't know what was going on. It's working now. Yeah, Floridian, I guess it's working now. Y'all have to let me know. It says 14 people are on here, no thumbs up. So I don't know if it will let y'all even thumbs up. I guess we'll see. If somebody wants to hit a thumbs up, we'll see if it's even calculating that. Who knows? I might be on the shit list for YouTube. Yeah, there's 1 thumbs up. It just popped up. So maybe that's working. I don't know. I guess, yeah, they're going to cut it for tipping a glass. Who knows? What's up, Dennis? Dennis, how are you, man? He said, just did. Yeah, I see the 1 thumbs up, so that's probably you. Work makes it easy. Dickinson and button down standard uniform company paid. There you go. I get you. Dickie pants. Yep. I've worn the Dickies. I have some of the Dickie shirts. I actually like them. But yeah, I did get on the poncho, I did get the Western Pearl Snaps. So I got the old school Pearl Snaps because they offer it in the Western edition or the regular button edition. But I like the Pearl Snaps. So she did all the Pearl Snaps. She ordered those for me and they're nice. They're just like the old school cowboy Pearl Snaps that I had back in the day. So I really like those. And a boot allowance. There you go. There you go. What boots you wearing, DB? You wearing Red Wings, or is there a certain boot you really like for work? I always liked Red Wings. I like Justin's. You know, if it's a work boot, I always really appreciated Red Wings. I mean, there's great work boots. I had some Dan Post work boots at one time, but it's hard to beat Red Wings, you know, if you need some really good boots. I don't really know of any other boots that are out there, honestly, other than Red Wings. Red Wings, yes, sir. Yeah, I figured if you're in the trades, Red Wings, you can't beat those. Floridian says thumbs up. Didn't register when I pushed. Yeah, it shows 18 people and 5 thumbs up. Mazda said, hello, where are you from? I'm from Iran. He's from Iran. I'm from Texas. Born and bred, USA. Get a little swallow of water here. Also, just so y'all know, the company did replace my tools because I've had this ask. They replaced the tools that was stolen in the stolen truck. And the insurance company just paid for my sunglasses. So they cut me a check for $500 for my 2 pair of sunglasses. The Oakley M-Frame Specs, Spec Ops, and or excuse me, not Red Wings. The Ray-Ban Wing, what are they called? Oh crap, I can't even think of the name of them now. The Ray-Ban Tortoise, they're called something, I forget what they're called. But anyway, they replaced them or gave me the money for them, so I'm going to buy some other ones. DB says we had a company come out a few years back with orthopedic boots, pretty nice. Beater boots, very comfortable. That's cool. Yeah, I always did the Red Wings with the soles, or they would put can't remember, the insoles that would match your feet or something. They were really cool. I had a pair of Red Wings. I hated them. It's hard to beat the comfort in a pair of Doc Martens, but these are meant not for work. Yeah. I never wore Doc Martens. I remember a lot of people did in high school, way back when I was in school. I never really got into the Doc Marten looks. I know that a lot of people claim they were super comfortable. I just never really got into them personally, you know. So I can't speak for myself. It is 7:30 p.m. here, so it's 4 a.m. in Iran. Damn. What's up, Trigger Bar? How are you? Yeah, Trigger Bar, I guess I got booted from my first chat. I opened up a tool and they killed the chat. Timberland, I remember those. A lot of people wore those back in the day. Pro Series, yeah. I had, what did I have? I had Red Wings. I had a pair of, what were they called? Boxers or Boxsters or something like that. They were work boots. I can't remember. They're kind of the white. They had like a white crepe sole on them. And they were the lace ups. I can't remember the name on them. They were old, long time ago. Dime Store says Red Wings guy myself. Yeah, Red Wings are great. I said hello just as it crashed. Oh, gotcha. Yeah, well, I think YouTube pulled it because I opened up a utility knife and showed its features, and they all of a sudden they booted it. I saw it spinning, and I'm like, what the hell? And then everybody started dropping off. So I guess they pulled the plug on a utility knife. Good Lord. They definitely have it out for me, that's for sure. Trigger Bar and I have talked about it. Man, they are shadow banning the crap out of me. What's funny is I've been at like 21,999 forever. And then all of a sudden I'll go to 29,998, 29,997, 29,998. $29.99. It's crazy. It's like can't go to 22,000. I don't know why, but I mean it is what it is. Georgia Boot Company, Floridian. I've never heard of Georgia Boot Company. I mean I don't really wear work door. I mostly wear cowboy boots. I'm probably gonna start wearing my cowboy boots again now that my ankle is getting better. Next week, open a ladle or something, see if they axe it. Yeah, they probably would. Fall is saying hello, hello. Who knows? I guess I won't show a utility knife on here anymore. Good Lord. There's so many knife channels, and I get axed for showing a utility knife. That's crazy, but whatever. But yeah, so like I was saying before I got axed, she's gonna, we're gonna redo my whole office. She's gonna do a feature wall. So I have to move. She's gonna need to move my horns, so I'm gonna move my horns. Billy Jack is gonna stay over in the corner. He's that big buck that's over there, so he'll stay there. I mean, she's gonna paint, the office, and I asked if I could help, and she said no. She's super meticulous, so that's a good thing because I probably would paint like Ray Charles. But yeah, redo the whole room, and again, kind of set it up like a kind of a little studio, relaxing area slash office slash gun room. So I have ordered some stuff, and it wasn't cheap. That I'm going to be doing. I haven't seen anybody else do. I've gotten one part of it. I'm still waiting for two more parts of it. These parts are big and heavy. Not going to say what it is yet because I haven't seen anybody else do it, but I'm going to be doing it. Something different, and hopefully y'all will like it. I mean, I'm not doing it just for y'all. I hope y'all understand that. I'm doing it. I've been wanting to do this. I've had a vision for a couple of years of setting up my room the way that I wanted to set it up or differently. Because when I first did it, it was just kind of a hodgepodge of putting everything in here. So I'm going to be moving stuff out to the garage, and kind of making a little more area in here. Y'all can't see it, but it's pretty packed in here with gun shit. What's up, Lake Ozark guy? How are you, buddy? Yes, I did hear about that DB. I talked about it on the first part, and maybe that's why they booted me. That could be it again. I don't know, but yeah, that was horrible that happened. That's another reason in situations like that, people need to be armed. Like I said before, hopefully YouTube doesn't boot me for saying that. But that just proves another reason bad people come to weak areas to do evil stuff. So that's why they need to be taken out. So we'll see. But yeah, that was pretty crazy. I saw some stuff that was posted on X, and I was like, you gotta be kidding me. I saw all of his words on everything, and that's horrible. That is horrible. You know, that state's a train wreck. I'll just say that. Oh, Tampon Tim's running it really well, isn't he? But yeah, that's horrible. That is horrible. So we got 16 people on, 7 thumbs up, so that's better than it was before. Man, I wonder why the hell they booted me. I wonder if I have an email. I'll check when we get off the chat. There probably might be an email that said, we ended your chat for this reason. So we'll have to see. DB says Crazy has one news outlet only talking about banning tools and mags. No mention of the obvious mental health issue. Yeah, it's always the tool. They don't talk about the crazies behind the tool. Because since we're talking about tools, I could do the same thing with a hammer, do the same thing with an axe, do the same thing with a crowbar, do the same thing with whatever it might be. Yep. It's, people are losing their mind. And I'm telling you, and I'll say this till I'm blue in the face. and I use it as well. But social media is can be used for evil stuff too. Scott says if you look at almost every single mash, yeah, recently that's made viral news was, yeah, I get you. I don't want to say it because they might ask me again. Jimmy becomes Jenny, but that's okay. Yeah, exactly. And I was going to say, they've been crushing me. YouTube has been hard on me. I mean, I'll put up a video of just shooting and they demonetize it. I'll put up a video. I had a tool video that y'all haven't seen yet that I put up. It's a tool, and they demonetized a tool video. I'm like, it's a freaking tool. People use this every day to work on cars, and y'all are demonetizing it. And I'm not the first to do a video on this tool. So, I mean, I just don't get it, man. I just don't get it. Yeah. Social media is a total downfall. I totally agree with that. I mean, people, put their stuff up on social media. They get, what is it? And a lot of people are thin skinned now, but they get bullied. They get this. They lash out and go do stuff to people that are completely innocent, haven't done a thing to anybody. They take it out on those people. Horrible. Shouldn't be feeding people's delusions. True. That's like if you're a ma'am and you're not a ma'am. I'm not going to say you're a ma'am. And if somebody says, "Oh, I'm a this" or "I'm a that," I'm not gonna play into their fallacy. I'm sorry. Just not gonna do it. That's in your head. It's not in mine. I call you what I see. If you've got these other ideas of what you are or what you think you are, not my problem. If you don't like what I say, I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit at all. So, there you go. I had that happen to me. That was a little while back. I think I talked about it on a chat. One of those people tried to pull that shit with me. I was like, nope, not falling for it. Not falling for it at all. I am not going to fall into your delusion or stoke your, craziness. Now, Scott's right. Shouldn't be feeding people delusions. I totally agree with that. Oh man, I hope they didn't do this again. I just saw something, it kind of wiggled a little bit. And it says I'm live at 18:09. There's 20 people on, 6 thumbs up. Somebody throw a comment in there and see if they kick me off again. After Scott, okay, DB just threw one in. Parents are part of the issue, allowing kids to make these decisions, allowing them to follow through with it. I agree. There's some parents who shouldn't be parents, or apparently not parents. Okay, Florian says you're live. I'm good. Okay. Because, man, it just did this little weird click. And I'm like, here we go again. Yeah, Scott, I agree with you. Parents aren't slapping their kids enough. Yeah, there needs to be some ass beating going on. And I remember back in the day, if we did something wrong at school, we had to go see the coach. And I played football. We had to go see the coach with the big old monster paddle with the holes drilled in it for the aerodynamics. And he would waste your ass and lift you off the floor. And there needs to be more of that shit brought back into the schools. Kids don't realize that they're invincible. And, like Mike Tyson always said, people just need a good punch in the face sometimes. Because, man, this stuff is getting out of hand. It's definitely getting out of hand. And people, oh, I'll abide. No. Nope. Bend over and grab your ankles. Yes, sir, Floridian, you are correct. And he will raise you off the floor. Trigger Bar says Tampon Tim should be accountable for this one. He encouraged all of this, the violence and delusion, etc. Again, social media, hand their kids a phone at 2 years old and occupy them, and it starts, yes. And that's the great thing. my daughter is very, very protective of my granddaughter. She's not allowing the iPads. Now, of course, she's only 5 months old, but there's going to be none of that stuff. And I'm just like, good. You know, I mean, I'm telling you, I've been in restaurants where every one of the kids at the table have iPads or phones or whatever. And I'm just like, oh boy. In these little kid shows and stuff, and it's like they're programming these kids. I mean, with these music and all this stuff, I'm just like, whoa, that's crazy. Yeah, that's it, DB, perfectly. Everyone has a plan until they get punched in the face. There needs to be more of that happening. Because I'm telling you, when I was younger, you would get lit up. We played a game called Smear the. Y'all probably know what it is. You throw the ball up in the air, whoever catches it, just gets dog piled. And it was called Smear the. I'll leave it at that. But man, yeah. I mean, we were rough housing. We were beating the crap out of each other. It was a whole different ball game. And of course, we didn't have social media when I was a kid. We actually communicated with kids. We went down the street and visited a kid. We didn't live in our room and play video games all day, or just sit and watch all this crap that's going on the screen. We went out and lived. I mean, we'd leave in the morning at freaking, the crack of dawn and be out till dark, past dark. I mean, oh, muckle football. There you go. Yeah, we called it Smear the, started with a Q. Yeah, Floridian says use as pacifiers. You're exactly right, because I don't want to hear the kids scream. But, I'm telling you. And also, a lot of, bicycle rides until dark. I wore the tires off of bicycles. I mean, I probably rode 10 miles, 15 miles a day and didn't even know it. I'm sure all of y'all did too. We drank out of garden hoses. I mean, we didn't go in the house to get a cool drink. We'd grab the garden hose and drink out of that shit. It was just a different time. And everybody says, oh, you're an old fart, blah, blah, blah. And, that was when a Coke was a Coke, a guy was a guy. I mean, it was a whole different ball game. I think Tim McGraw wrote a song about it. I know y'all know what I'm talking about. DB says, then hit 16 and got a driver's license. It was on. Everyone knew you by your car. Yes, sir. Yeah, whoever did the baddest burnout in the parking lots. Windows up and doors unlocked. Yes, sir. Trigger Bar says I played that game too, but we had no idea what it was. We called it each other's cues, like we would say jerks or idiots. Yeah, I got you. No, we actually called each other those words. We're like, you're, gay. So, that was just what we did. We weren't bullies, but, I played ball and we gave the soccer players, we messed with them. We gave the golfers a hard time. We gave all the other sports guys, baseball players a hard time, but I played football and that's just what we did. But we all, at the end of the day, we'd all sit in the parking lot and have a good time. No phones, keg in the woods. Yep, we used to have woods parties all the time. Yes, we used to word trying to get banned from YouTube. No, I hear you, Trigger Bar. I'm not either. Yep, we had band geeks. We had, what do we call it? Oh, and at my high school, you could smoke. We had a smoking section. It was outdoors, and people could go out there and smoke. That was crazy, but yeah, people would do that. And we had the Goths. I think that's what they were called, the Goths. You had the Jocks, the Cowboys, and I was kind of a cowboy jock. But we had the Goths, the sweet loafer ones. I mean, it was just all these different cliques. Yeah, DB says we called everybody gay. Yeah. What's up, DJ and the chef? Yep, Texas. Bundle sticks word was common, yes. Oh, it was. What's up, Pranic? How are you, buddy? The best was when you turned down the road and saw all the cars parked on the side of the road. Best feeling. Oh, yeah. We called them field parties. That's what we called them. We'd go to a field and just have a huge party. And there were kegs involved. There were trucks. There were pulling contests. I don't know if y'all had those. We had bumper pull contests where you'd put a strap between the two bumpers and you just take off. And whoever ripped each other's bumper off, if you ripped bumpers off, you won. And I had a four-wheel drive truck at that time with a hopped-up engine. I ripped off a bunch of bumpers. And mine was bolted to the frame. It had a steel bumper, not a bullshit chrome crappy bumper. And I ripped off many, many bumpers. So I won a lot of those. Jocks, potheads, geeks, preppies, and drinkers. Yep, that's what we had, Scott. So I forgot we call them, what do we call them? We didn't call them potheads. We call them druggies. That's what we call them, druggies. We're like, yeah, we got the druggies. A matter of fact, what's really crazy is one of the guys I graduated high school with, he was a pothead. And he's actually one of my customers now. I know him very, very well, and it's really funny seeing him now because he's not like he was in high school. Totally the opposite. It's really funny. He's a grandfather too. Barn fires, mushrooms, not for pizza. Yeah, we didn't do the shrooms. Not any of the groups I hung out with. Yeah, we did a lot of the. I can't say this because it'll give away the school and the area I went to. But I was in the newspaper. We won the big show. I'll just leave it at that. And that's back when I had a mohawk and stupid crap. But yeah, we were really good in football. What's up, Rabbi? How are you? We played the Odessa Permia. If y'all ever seen it, and my school was actually in a movie called Friday Night Lights. I'll just leave it at that. The original one, not the replay. Read the OG Al Bundy. Yep, back in the day. Yep, if I could do that country mile, I was Uncle Rico and Al Bundy all in one. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Throw that football a country mile. Throw that pigskin a country mile. Throw it over that mountain. DB said we had a plan for when the cops showed up. One guy pulled the tap because we had a deposit on it. Yep. Two others grabbed the keg and stashed it. Yeah. $3 a cup, drink all night. Yeah. 4 touchdowns in one game. Rabbi says my comments are missing. I can see your comment still, Rabbi. Let's see. Let's go back here. He says, well, howdy. I see that one. Hopefully who knows? We got 21 people in here, 8 thumbs up. So, yeah, they canceled the first chat or kicked me off, I guess, because I showed a tool. But whatever. They hate me. YouTube hates me, and it's really sad. I don't feel I do anything wrong, but whatever. There was probably some new rule that came out yesterday where you can't show a knife or a utility knife or talk about it or open a box. Commie's got a commie, yeah. Rabbi says, okay, I see them now, yeah. YouTube hates everybody except for liberals. Yeah, that's true. If I was putting on makeup right now, doing a makeup party, woohoo, they'd probably love me and start throwing everybody my way, but you won't see me doing that. I don't fall for their con. Nope, I don't play that game. Want a car or driver's license or the responsibility. I know it's weird. You know, we have some friends that have younger kids that are of driving age, and I'm like, hey, do you get your driver's license? And they're like, oh no. And their dad's like, yeah, I'll buy, I was going to buy them a truck or a car or whatever, and they don't want to get their license. And I'm like, what? That's just weird, man. I mean, I guess it's just a different time. It's very weird. Shoot, the first time I think I got my driver's license when I was like, I think I got it when I was 15 and a half. I got a hardship. I didn't really qualify for it, but in my county, you could get it. So I got it. And got my first vehicle at like 15 and a half. Drove the crap out of that truck. Loved that truck. Had a good time in that truck. then got some performance cars, and it was all race crap after that. Yeah, Rabbi, simply showed me opening it and how to activate it. It's a flipper, and that's when it all of a sudden went dead. Yeah, exactly, Rabbi. Yeah, when I was a teen, if you didn't drive, something was wrong with you. We used to hang out at the Taco Bell parking lot. We used to cruise a street called University. We also cruised Forest Lane. I'm going to show my age now. We used to we used to cruise Forest Lane in Dallas, and there was a guy by the name of Robbie Van Winkle. If anybody recognizes that name, but used to shoot the shit with him quite a bit, and he's known as Vanilla Ice for real. It was Robbie Van Winkle. He did have a 5.0, a white one with red interior. Talked to him a few times. He was a pretty cool guy. I had a pretty hot car at the time, pretty fast car. I won't say that I raced him or didn't race him, but and there was a place called Mignana in Dallas. Mignana. We used to race there quite a bit. They did put speed bumps through the whole street, so you can't race there anymore. I used to go to Yellow Belly Speedway a lot. I noticed there's a guy on YouTube that does live from Yellow Belly Speedway, and I thought that was pretty funny. But yeah, I raced there a ton. But yeah, we used to race on a street called Mignana. So we would set up races at Forest Lane and then take it over to Mignana and race them there. I raced in one of my cars, I raced an FJ 1200, or no, I'm sorry, an FJ. I beat it. I had some pretty hot cars back in the day. Prentick says I got my driver's license on my 16th birthday. My kids of age waited until 18. Yeah, a lot of people did that. It's weird. Got my license at 16 and a half, which is the earliest you can get it in Massachusetts. Did you ride in his 5.0? No, I didn't ride in his 5.0. I did see it though. Well, I had 71, 69, 67 Camaros, Chevelle GTO, Mustangs, and they were cheap and easy to fix back then. Yeah, you could take a 350, 455. I actually had a 455 GTO, or excuse me, 455 Cutlass, 69 Cutlass back in the day, 442. What's up, G23? How are you, buddy? Oh, I think Alaska is a state where you could get your driver's license permit at the youngest age. Yeah, I got mine at 15 and a half because I applied for a hardship. I didn't need it. I just was like, I'm ready to drive. And my parents were like, here's a truck. You know, when you get your driver's license, there's your truck. And I was like, sweet. So I applied for it. And, my parents were like, yeah, they went along with everything. And I got it at like 15 and a half, I think. Let's see, very few friends still have those cars. Hearst 442, white and gold, cherry. Yeah, mine was an original 442. It was the cranberry with the black vinyl top. It was an original 442, but I did hop it up. It came with a 400. I hopped it up. I put a 455 in it with a slap shifter. It was a great car. Awesome, great car. 71 split bumper, Z28. Damn, DB. That's sweet. If my dad and uncle kept some of the cars they had when they were younger, they would be very rich. Yeah, my dad, before he passed, this was about probably 2 years before he passed, he sold his 70 Charger 442, or excuse me, his 70 Charger 440. It was plum crazy purple, all original, completely restored, numbers matching, original window sticker, won all kinds of freaking trophies. We still have the trophies. He sold that 2 years before he passed because he was like, hey, it's yours. And I was like, I can't fit in it. because on that car I didn't want to rebolt the seat. It was just real too tight for me. Being as tall as it just didn't work. So I was like, just sell it. Y'all keep the money. You know, it's y'all's money. And but yeah, it was a beautiful car. It was a '70 Charger 440, all original, plum crazy purple with a white RT stripe on the tailgate on the back. I might be giving away who he is or who we are because it's been in several magazines back in the day. But it was a really, really awesome car. We dropped a 400 in my cousin's '70 Firebirds Monster. Yeah, a buddy of mine had a Firebird, and we put a 455 in it. It was the original Smokey and the Bandit car, 6.6, but we tricked that car all out. I mean, it was super, super fast. But I had some really cool cars. I had a '69 Cutlass. I had a '70 Cuda, but that was strictly a race car, quarter mile car. It was tubbed. I got it as a rolling chassis. So I put a Keith Black motor in it. That's the one I used to race. I've had Jeeps, Wranglers lifted. I've had, what did I have? I had a K5 Blazer at one time. I want to get another one. I've had some pretty hopped up cars. My only muscle car was the '02 Camaro SS. I've had sports cars, but I don't like one muscle car. Yeah, yeah. I had an IROC. It was crazy. This is an IROC that came with a 305, and I was like, "You gotta be kidding me!" Pulled that thing out quickly. Put a small block 350 in it. It was awesome. It was pushing a lot of horsepower for a 350. It was bored 60 over, which was pretty crazy. But it was a fun car. I had a '70 Chevelle 455 or 454, but that was a built motor. That's what it came with. It was an original '70 Chevelle 454, but it was a lot of fun. Big J, what do you think of the new Scout? I think the new Scout's awesome. It's just the electric, man. I love the Scout. I love it, but I'm just like, I think it's going to sell if the company stays in business. That's the only thing with all the electric stuff falling off right now. I don't know if they're going to hang on, but I love the Scout. International Scout was awesome. I would still love to have one. Remember the old 390 Scouts? They were awesome. Love the Process 305 or the 3 months. Let's see here. Ever heard of a Vega? Hell yeah, I've heard of a Vega. Hell, I've even heard of a Vega station wagon. We did one up with lightning rod, wheelie bars, dual quads. Yeah, I had a buddy that had a Vega station wagon with a 350 in it, and that thing was pushing like 440 horsepower back in the day. Thing was crazy. Even had a buddy that had a freaking Ford Maverick, an old Maverick, and it was a 302 Boss. Thing would pop wheelies in a freaking Maverick. Yeah, I just wouldn't buy a pure electric vehicle either, but I love the Scout. I love the Scout. Bronco Raptor, it's actually the Bronco Raptors, and of course, I deal with Ford all the time. The Bronco Raptor's cool. I think it's really overpriced for what it is. There's some things I like about it, there's some things I don't like about it. I like the suspension better on a Wrangler than I do the Raptor. However, the Raptor or the Bronco is getting much, much better. So, I mean, if you want to spend that much on it, I don't think there's anything wrong with it, but they all have their pros and cons. And of course, it's much faster than a standard Wrangler, unless you get the 392 Wrangler, which is pretty awesome. Pinto with NOS, yeah. I was gonna say, as long as you didn't get rear-ended, it wouldn't blow up. The thing my father loved more than me was his Mustang Mach 3. Holy crap. He let me drive it once. That was what, in the 70s, 76, 75? Wasn't that when the Mach 3s came out? Maybe it was 80s, but I remember that car. Lots of Raptor Broncos down here in Florida, yeah. Man, I remember when the Chevy truck came out with the 454 SS single cab, and it was 454 cubic inch motor, only pushing 220 horsepower. And I was like, what? I'm like, man, come on. I even had buddies who had the Monte Carlo SS with the 305, and we pulled those and put 30 or 400 400s in them. It made them much faster. I had a buddy that I went to high school with, and he had one of the first Grand Nationals, the GNX. His dad worked for Buick back in the day, and he got the very first GNX. And man, that car was fast, and it would blow the shit out of everything that we had at school. But when we got Alex's Monte Carlo SS and got the 400 built in it, man, it would hang with that GNX. I mean, it would pull it out at the end, but it was crazy. My best friend had the white 454 SS, yeah. Both my grandmas rolled in the Monte Carlos, yeah. I remember window. Some people don't remember that, but I was like, oh, that's an ugly car. GMC Cyclones or Typhoons, hell yeah, they were fast. They were super fast. The same thing as like the GNX, the 6-cylinder turbos. Those things were a freaking beast. And then when the AMC Talon was all-wheel drive, that thing was a monster. A buddy of mine had one. I had a Mitsubishi. What was it? Mitsubishi Conquest. I had a Conquest TSI, and that thing was a pocket rocket. And I raced that Typhoon, or excuse me, not Typhoon. I raced the AMC Talon or AM whatever it was, the Talon. And man, I couldn't hook up. I just kept smoking the tires down, and he got me at the very end. But those were a lot of fun. I miss mini trucks. I think the Maverick is the only current one in the States. Yeah, I'll tell you what the hot one is right now. The hot one right now is the F-150 regular cab 5.0 with the supercharger. Everybody is buying that. They're taking the regular cab 5.0s with the superchargers, and they're making them race trucks. And there are a ton of them out there. That is one of the hottest things Ford's selling right now. They're huge in Houston, the Dallas-Fort Worth area. They're huge. I mean, dealers are selling a ton of those with the supercharger, short box, single cab 5.0 Coyotes. I mean, those things are pocket rockets. So, had one in blue. Mine was bright red. TSI Conquest. Yep. So yeah, the Ford Lightning. Yeah. Yeah, 70K. Some of them are even more than that, DB. That's what's crazy, man. Yeah, you can get the Ford supercharger, and they can still keep it under basic warranty. So I think till 50,000, I believe, if you get the Ford Performance Ford Garage supercharger and you don't change the pulley. I think they can hold the warranty, but they are cool. I had a Lightning as a rental, only had 800 miles on it, and it was absolutely terrible. I've had 3 F-150s, and it drove nothing like them, yeah. I was never really impressed with the original Lightning. I mean, it was cool. It just wasn't super impressive. I had some buddies who had them, and they looked cool. I mean, they were cool trucks, but I was just like, wasn't for me. I think it could have a hell of a lot more horsepower than they had back in the day. But of course, a lot of them, they thought that was a lot of horsepower back then. If you had 400 horsepower, you had a shitload of horsepower back then. Hell, if you even had 350 horsepower, you had a lot of horsepower. It was crazy. Things have definitely changed. But it is 8:06. We'll start shutting this down. Sorry I had to do another chat. I guess YouTube killed the first chat, so sorry about that. Understeer at normal speeds, yeah. I remember those days, man. Sucker just walked all over the place. Now I'm old F-150 twin turbo, new Camry daily. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, thanks Trigger Bar. I appreciate you, buddy. But yeah, we'll go ahead and shut this down. But no, this was a fun chat. And like I said, if anything, if y'all are seeing anything out there as far as gun wise, I'm just enjoying doing some tool reviews and branching out a little bit, not going away from guns. Don't worry about that. Nothing's changing there. Just wanting to do some different stuff, kind of branch out a little bit with some of the other things I enjoy. You know, Sometimes guns get boring because they're not coming out with anything else. It's the gun slump right now. Yeah, thanks, Floridian. Have a great night, man. But, there's nothing really super exciting right now. So when stuff starts coming out again, we'll definitely crank up the gun stuff. But, and I'm still going to go shoot the guns that I have. I've got the impact machine guns, with the ported, and they're awesome. I don't know if y'all have seen those videos, but make some golf videos, you gimp. Yeah, trust me. I got the sticks right over there. I mean, y'all could see them. They're just sitting over there waiting. Right there. There's 2 bags full of them. So, but yeah, I would like to get out on the course and do some chipping and some putting and playing around, but I know I can't get that swing back. Cannot get that long swing back for sure. But anyway, but I appreciate y'all so much. It is 8:08. We'll go ahead and shut this bad boy down. We'll do this again next Wednesday. If y'all have any comments, questions, concerns, anything you want to see, any tool reviews, if y'all are enjoying the tool reviews, let me know. If you're not, that's cool too. I totally get it. If you're just here for the guns, not going to hurt my feelings. I'm a thick-skinned guy, not a problem. But just kind of branching out a little bit, just enjoying what I enjoy. And we're going to be working on the room very soon and getting everything locked down. I'm waiting for those other 2 items to come in. When they come in, I can get a whole wall set up, and we're going to be cranking. So then I get the wife in here to paint everything. So, but this feature wall I'm really excited about. She showed me some stuff, and I'm like, that is what I want. So might even get some new furniture in here. I don't know. Thinking about donating my recliner. I don't know yet. Haven't completely found out, but be getting rid of some stuff in here and moving some new stuff in. So, but I appreciate y'all so much. Y'all have a wonderful night. And remember, our nation's a very weak nation, so we all got to carry on. And we know what tools are. It can be tools in your truck or tools on your person. And also, like we've been saying, if you haven't reached out to people that you haven't heard from in a long time, please reach out, make sure they're okay. Let them know you're thinking about them. And we're all in this together. So y'all have a great night. I appreciate y'all so much. Take care, everyone.